Look at this strange vegetation. It clearly doesn't belong here.
This area must have been contaminated by one of those flying spores. It must be the source of this growth.
Yes, that sounds obvious. Let's see what we can learn from studying the macrospore in more detail.
We have to take a larger piece of this object and bring it to our alien laboratory to study it. A small sample will not be enough. I can transport the sample with the Megasuit's gravity modulator arm extension. Please bear in mind that if we rift jump while holding this object, it will not travel with us.
Okay, let's take a walk then.
This sample is safe within the force field, but it is going to deteriorate quite quickly if we drop it to the ground. Ashley, are you interested in this object out of pure scientific curiosity? Or are you seriously worried that it could pose a real threat?
Well, I guess both. I am still really excited about all of the magnificent wildlife that we're experiencing on Galatea every day. Okay, we delivered a huge chunk of the macrospore to the Alien Research Lab. Let's see what it can tell us.
I have analyzed the pollen in the air and the macrospore sample. The first thing to note is that they were produced by two different species of fungi.
That's interesting. The fungi that produce those gigantic flying spores would have to be enormous. And the amount of biomass in that cloud is also quite astounding.
The next thing we have learned is that the large spores feed on the microscopic grains of the pollen cloud. They would not be able to fly very far without it.
An intriguing parasitic relationship. Can you tell me more about that large spore? How was it able to spread that growth around its landing site so quickly? Can it survive in this environment?
That flying object was a carrier vessel that contained multiple fungal spores, surrounded by a thick layer of hypernutritious resin-like substance, and shielded by strong chitin walls. The organisms around the landing site used up the nutrients from the carrier vessel to develop very quickly. However, I am not certain if they will be able to survive in this environment, nor if they should be classified as a threat.
I'm not convinced about that. The fact that they're not trying to tear us apart with claws or beaks doesn't make them harmless. The sheer size of that spore cloud could make it dangerous. What if it starts to change the local ecosystem? What if it serves as a growth catalyst for the acidic yeast colonies that we've encountered? We can't just ignore this. We have to find where this cloud is coming from and determine if it is dangerous.
Now that we have analyzed the cloud's content, we can input that data to the planetary scanner to search for areas that can contain large amounts of biomass with similar element composition spectrum.
Let's look at biomes that can support large fungal colonies, potentially warm and with lots of water.
Affirmative. Further scans indicate an area that matches this query. It is a vast river delta located in the subtropical zone. The vegetation in that biome is very dense and strongly distinct from what we have seen in other parts of the planet. Its location suggests that it could be the source of the spore cloud.
Okay, that sounds good, Mr. Riggs. Please mark the location on the planetary scanner, and let's go to that fungal swamp as soon as we can.
Warning! A hostile group of creatures is heading towards our base. Prepare for an incoming attack. Danger! Enemy creatures are closing in. Get ready to fight.
base is under attack.
Has been destroyed. A tower has been destroyed. Base is under attack. An energy connector has been destroyed. Tower destroyed. Rift jump successful. Air temperature 321 degrees Kelvin. Humidity at maximum. Visibility very low.
Wait, Mr. Riggs. Stop. Look over there. Wow. I've never seen anything like this. That tree is enormous. We have to go see it up close. It's breathtaking.
I concur, Ashley. It appears to be even larger than the cloud drifters on Cephalus.
Yes, it definitely looks bigger. Let's go. We have to see it up close.
New technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
It's even more impressive when we're standing close to it, but I can't really make out the structure of this great tree. It's partially covered with the same growth that we've seen come out of that flying spore that reached our HQ. The trunk appears to be intertwined in thick, thorny vines. And I see hundreds of creatures crawling amongst its branches. It looks very old and dried out. Let's go around the base of the tree. I want to learn more about it. This side of the tree is densely covered with parasite nests. The entire trunk is crawling with them. It looks like they've overwhelmed this organism and they're draining all of its life.
A new technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
This side of the tree doesn't look so dried out. It has visible living tissue. I can even see some resin-like substance coming out from the crevices in the trunk.
Warning! Hostile creatures are swarming down on us from the tree. Ashley, prepare to fight.
The trunk of the tree is densely entangled with some sort of aggressive thorn vine. It almost looks like it's trying to strangle this giant organism.
Warning! I am detecting a lot of movement coming down from the tree. Ashley, get ready to fight.
Okay, Mr. Riggs. I think we should set up a research outpost at the base of this tree and learn more about the situation in this biome. I think this giant organism is the key to our riddle.
What riddle?
The pollen cloud and the gigantic flying spores trying to invade our headquarters? That's why we came here.
I am sorry, Ashley. I still have not classified those events as a threat to our mission. All of this looks like a natural part of this planet's ecosystem.
I hope you're right. Either way, I don't want to take that risk. Okay, we've got an outpost building up and running. Now we can move on to constructing the necessary research infrastructure around the tree and start gathering data about this organism.
It is going to be challenging to defend our base in the swamp. There is very little building space available, and we will not be able to rely on wind and solar energy. We should focus on more efficient energy sources, like flammable gas, nuclear, or fusion power.
We can use biocondensers to gather sludge from the mud pools all around us and convert that into flammable gas. Energy shouldn't be a problem. We just need to think different.
Extended pipelines will be difficult to defend.
That is true, but we can secure them with floating immolator towers. Plus, pipelines are cheap to rebuild.
A new technology has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting. New buildings are available.
Research completed.
Available for construction.
Warning! A hostile group of creatures is heading towards our base. Prepare for an incoming attack. Base is under attack.
Monsoon winds are blowing from the sea. Heavy rain is expected.
The precipitation is intense. It may take some time before it subsides. Ashley, I'm detecting a lot of movement in the upper parts of the Great Tree. We should prepare to defend our base from the tree's direction.
Roger that, Mr. Riggs. Let's place some defensive towers within our base just in case.
A new technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
The hard weather is over.
Warning! Hostile creatures are coming down the tree.
Base is under attack.
Research completed. Danger! A large group of creatures is coming down from the tree. Base is under attack.
Not enough AI cores. Build more AI hubs.
Technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
The research lab in Sector A has finished gathering data. The research lab in Sector C has finished gathering data. A new technology has been developed. New buildings are available for construction. Research completed. The research lab in Sector B has finished gathering data. Ashley, all of the research stations have finished their quantum scans of the Great Tree structure. You can proceed with the analysis.
Interesting. This organism has a very complex, multi-layered structure that goes deep underground. The part that's visible above ground is primarily responsible for reproduction, which is very similar to Earth-based mushrooms.
So, what is the interesting part?
The fruit body, which we've dubbed the mushroom tree, is close to 100 meters tall. If the underground body of this fungus holds proportions similar to Earth-based fungus, this entire organism could span hundreds of kilometers. Who knows, maybe it's underlying all of this swamp.
That is a bold theory, but even if it is true, it still does not mean that this fungus is a threat to our mission on Galatea 37.
Wait, there's more. The pollen cloud that reached our base was emitted by this huge fungal species, but the larger spores that were spreading the infectious growth came from a different species. Our data shows that the invasive spores share DNA with the parasites that are crawling all over this tree.
That sounds like a typical parasitic relationship, which is quite common in nature.
Maybe, but not on this scale. These parasites have almost completely taken over this great mushroom tree. That huge spore cloud was just a manifestation of the problems to come. Imagine what could happen if a few hundred square kilometers big organisms started to multiply in an uncontrolled manner. I think that this ecosystem is on the verge of collapsing and that we should try to bring it back to balance.
I am still not convinced, Ashley, but you are the boss here. What would you like to do next?
First, we should stop these parasites from multiplying any further. I don't want to use brute force against them. That could damage the organism and wouldn't be very effective. Maybe we could try to find some natural repellent that could drive them away from this tree.
I have cross-checked this parasite species' chemical spectrum against planetary quantum scans of the fungal swamp. This species appears to be commonly present in smaller populations throughout the entire biome. However, there are a few areas that are free of it.
Good thinking, Mr. Riggs. We have to check what is so repulsive in these places.
I concur, Ashley. I have marked one of these areas on the planetary scanner interface. We can go there as soon as you're ready. Jump successful. Oh my, Ashley. The atmosphere is intense in this area.
What? What do you mean?
The smell. It's overwhelming my sensors. You are so lucky to be inside of me.
What? What does it smell like?
It smells like freshly baked cinnamon buns with garlic and vinegar sauce, but much more intense than you could ever expect.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad. At least we know what those parasites are afraid of. Let's try to find what's secreting the smell.
That plant looks interesting. Let's move closer to it.
Is that smell coming from this plant?
It does have an intense odor that is similar to what I described earlier, but it is much less intense.
Maybe it isn't ripe yet.
That is possible. Or maybe it needs to be fermented.
Yeah, that would make sense too. I think we're getting closer. Let's keep searching. We can call this plant Garlemonium from the scent.
Brilliant name, Ashley. No wonder you're a scientist.
I love working with you, Mr. Riggs. Please, never change.
I think I have it, Ashley. I know where that smell is coming from. I've marked the location on your map.
Oh, it looks like a colorful heap of toothpaste. Wait, is this what I think it is?
You do not want to brush your teeth with that, Ashley. It is a steaming pile of feces.
It totally makes sense, yet somehow I wasn't expecting this. Well, we have to take a sample. Bring out the drill arm, Mr. Riggs.
Of course, Ashley. I am not complaining. Whatever you say.
Thank you, Mr. Riggs. This substance has an unbelievably intense odor. No wonder the parasites hate it. But we'll need to gather more of it if we want to get rid of them from the entire tree.
Brilliant. I really feel like I was made for this job.
Stop complaining, Mr. Riggs. Nobody said we'd only be sniffing flowers. Okay, how can we get more of this product?
These excrements were produced by a large animal that feeds on the Garlemonium plant. We should search for one of these animals, feed it with the fruit, and wait until the digestive process is complete.
Sounds easy enough. Let's search for this poop machine. Wow, look at that curiosity. It's got huge dangling eyes at the front, a lot of smaller eyes on all sides, and a huge gaping mouth at the bottom. This is probably the strangest creature that we've seen on this planet, or maybe even anywhere.
Indeed, Ashley. It is really difficult to say how all of its appendages fit in this ecosystem. It does not appear to be aggressive.
Bingo! This creature is an herbivore that feeds primarily on the Garlemonium plant. Now we only have to feed it some of the fruit and wait for the digested product.
I really like how you use the word product in this particular instance.
I was trying to avoid saying poo too much, but if you insist, we can call this creature a poogrit.
Ashley, we can grab one of those Garlemonium fruits with the gravity modulator and toss it to a poogrit. It should try to eat it if it's close enough.
Ew, that's gross. Wow, that was some rapid digestion. Bring out your drilling arm, Mr. Riggs. We've got science to do. Okay, I think we need to collect a few more piles of the product, and we should be good.
Wind has stopped. This will affect wind turbine power generation. A new technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
This is it. I think we've got enough of the product to spray the entire mushroom tree. We can rift back to the fungal swamp outpost as soon as we're ready.
Wait a moment, Ashley. I think we missed something that you may consider interesting.
What is it?
My sensors are picking up an unusual energy emission in the middle of a flooded area. The energy signature is similar to the bioanomalies that we have been encountering from time to time. But this one appears to be larger, and they previously only appeared on dry land.
Yeah, that certainly sounds like something that is worth investigating. Let's go there.
The wind is coming back. Wind power is returning to normal.
Ashley, I am picking up a strong energy emission nearby.
I see light coming from behind those rocks. Let's check that out.
It is a large bioanomaly, Ashley. Just as expected.
Wait. This is an obvious trap, Mr. Riggs. This place looks strange and deserted, and there's a huge treasure cache glowing red right in the middle. It's as obvious as it gets.
Well, do you not want to open it?
Duh, of course I do. Let's just get prepared before we do that. Somehow I feel that we might get surprised, even though we expect to be surprised.
Human logic. Warning! We have enemies coming in from all around us.
Mudroners in that attack, including some very large ones. That was unusual.
This species appears to have higher intelligence than most creatures that we have encountered on this planet. Maybe they have intentionally prepared this trap.
I don't think so. They're not that smart, and I doubt they would have been aware that we were coming here. I think this bioanomaly must have served some special purpose to them. Maybe they were worshipping it, or maybe they were drawn to its energy.
We have seen similar bioanomalies in all parts of Galatea 37, but we still do not know what they really are. The things that they all share in common are that they appear to be much older than their surroundings, and that any attempt at opening them creates strong energy emissions that aggravate all creatures within a large distance.
Isn't this universal functionality strange? It would seem that these bioanomalies have the ability to control wildlife, and that they are using them as a protective mechanism.
A primordial organism that can control any sophisticated wildlife and appears in all parts of the globe? Sounds like a wild conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I agree that it's a far-fetched idea. Maybe someday we'll get to understand what's really behind this.
A new technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available for crafting. Weather conditions are changing. Wind speed is increasing.
The wind is much stronger than usual.
We are back at the Fungal Swamp Outpost, Ashley. We can move forward with your plan.
Okay, Mr. Riggs, let's get rid of these parasites from the tree. We need to spray the entire trunk with fermented garlemonium extract, and we obviously won't be able to do this ourselves. We need to build repellent drone hubs around the tree to cover the entire organism.
That is a special building blueprint, Ashley. I will enable it only when we are within the construction zones. Also, remember that you will need to supply these buildings with clean water to operate.
Roger that, Mr. Riggs. We can easily filter water from the mud.
Repellent drone hub in Zone A is online and operational. Fermented garlemonium extract distribution is commencing. Mission area expanded. Please check your map. I'm detecting a large group of creatures heading towards our position. Tower destroyed.
huge! Wow!
I agree, Ashley. They were covered by thick layers of fungal growth that absorbed most of our firepower.
They could pose a serious threat to our fortifications. Do we have enough data to determine which types of weapons would be most effective against these fungors?
No, not yet. We have to gather more data samples from these creatures. In the meantime, we have a bigger problem to solve. The group of fungors that came to attack us originated from a large island to the west of our position. I am detecting a lot of movement in that area.
They must have a nest or lair of some sort over there. Let's investigate that.
Ashley, the fungors are hatching around those large mounds. We have to destroy them to stop their attacks.
Be careful, Mr. Riggs. This island is a fortress. Over there, Mr. Riggs. It looks like a smaller version of the great mushroom tree. Let's go see it up close.
And clear it out. Destroyed all of the spawning mounts, Ashley. This will prevent further fungal attacks from this area.
That's one less thing to worry about. It feels like everything in this swamp is trying to kill us. Deadly walking mushrooms, plants spitting acid, plants bashing us with huge tendrils, and even plants that lob artillery-like projectiles at us. I don't think we're welcome around these parts.
If it is some consolation, Ashley, we can create a new gas grenade design based on the projectiles that those plants threw at us. It will not be of much use in this biome, but could be very useful against other types of creatures.
Ooh, that's nice. I'll try throwing it back at those plants, just to make them feel silly.
Whatever makes you feel better, Ashley.
Warning! Hostile creatures are closing in on our base. Prepare for an attack.
Crafting.
Drone hub in Zone C is online and operational. Fermented garlic extract distribution is commencing.
Base is under attack. creatures are approaching our base. Get ready for battle. Zone A has reached full parasite repellent saturation level.
Hey, we've got fireflies tonight. Isn't that another fungal fruit body from the same giant organism?
That is correct, Ashley. Both of these mushrooms are connected underground.
This smaller one looks much healthier. I can see fungal resin dripping from it. It's beautiful.
This substance is an incredibly potent energy carrier. We could easily break it down and use it as a substitute for plasma.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. We can use it directly to power shield generators, or we could run it through a plasma converter to produce supercharged plasma to fuel heavy artillery batteries.
But how?
On the quantum molecular level, this fungal resin acts as a containment field for singular antimatter particles. The containment fluid disperses when it comes into contact with certain fungal enzymes, which causes the antimatter to react with regular matter and produce energy. The amount of antimatter that is contained in this resin is incredibly small, but it's enough to fuel the metabolic processes of this fungus. It is practically liquid energy.
That sounds amazing. We can use whatever is dripping out of this resin tree, but let's not overdo it. It's the lifeblood of this organism. We could kill it if we start extracting this substance on an industrial scale.
Zone C has reached full parasite repellent saturation level. A new technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
Repellent drone hub in Zone B is online and operational. Fermented ammonium extract distribution is commencing. Crafting completed. Crafting completed. Zone B has reached full parasite repellent saturation level. The entire mushroom tree is covered in garlemonium extract. The parasites are fleeing. We should go to the base of the tree to see this.
This is amazing! The garlemonium extract worked even better than I expected. The parasite nests are dying, and the great mushroom tree is starting to bloom in some places. This is such a warm feeling.
Okay, Ashley. The first stage of your plan to save this fungus is complete. What do you want us to do next?
Now that the parasites are gone, I can see how much this organism is being strangled by that aggressive thorn vine. Let's go to the east side of the tree to take another look at the situation. I think it's the worst over there. Take a look at these thorn vines, Mr. Riggs. The ones that are on the ground near the base of the tree look natural, but the ones that are strangling the tree look different. They're much thicker and darker. They don't fit here.
I concur, Ashley. These thicker vines look like a mutated version of the natural green ones. Their thorns are piercing the trunk of the great mushroom tree. It looks like they are feeding on this organism.
Let's call them dark thorn to make a clear distinction from the natural thorn vine.
The damage to the tree appears to be deep, substantial, almost intentional.
What if the parasites that we just removed were not the real problem? Maybe they attacked this organism because it was already weakened by the dark thorn.
Some of these dark thorn tendrils span away from the tree. I am picking up a dense energy flux within them.
It's the resin, Mr. Riggs. The dark thorn is pumping out resin from this fungus and it's transporting it somewhere. This is the real root of the problem. We have to destroy these tendrils.
Wait. I can try to track that energy flux, and maybe we could check where that resin is heading out. Given this substance's energy capacity potential, we should not ignore that.
Smart thinking, Mr. Riggs. It's great to have you on board with this.
Energy flux mapping in progress. It is a complex branching structure heading out in a few directions. I am detecting a larger energy condensation within a very dense part of the swamp. I am marking that location as a high-value point of interest for further investigation.
Excellent. We should go there as soon as possible. Great job, Mr. Riggs.
Rift jump error. These are not the coordinates that we were aiming for. Something interfered with the jump.
How far are we from the destination?
A few kilometers. We landed in a very dense thicket. Our target is directly to the east of our current position, on a small hill.
The trees are moving.
Danger! It's a trap! I am detecting a lot of movement.
These creatures were camouflaged as trees. We have to be extremely careful around here. The flora and fauna in this biome are extremely dangerous. I didn't expect that. Vegetation in this part of the swamp is extremely dense. The jungle around our HQ seems like a forest nursery compared to this.
Based on my previous scans, we are probably walking above dark form roots right now.
Are you suggesting that it's responsible for this lush growth?
I think that is a possibility. Biomass density in this area is statistically above average by a large margin.
Interesting. Let's see what we can find at our destination.
Wind speed is at an exceptional high. Wind turbine efficiency is at maximum.
Mr. Riggs, are you sure that we're walking toward a small hill? We're on a rather steep incline, and we didn't start our journey at sea level. I've just seen glimpses of the fungal swamp river delta in the distance below us.
I may have used imprecise terminology, Ashley. This is a small hill in relation to the broader Galatean landscape. However, when we look at the so-called fungal swamp area, it is the highest peak within its geographical borders.
Sounds like you were just improvising in the beginning, and now you're trying to be a smartass.
I am only trying to be more human, Ashley.
You're such a fast learner. How far are we from the destination?
We are about 2/3 of the way toward our initial red jump coordinates.
Okay, that's good. I hope the vegetation is less dense where we're headed.
That is rather unlikely, Ashley.
I know, but you can't blame me for having some hope.
I can. That is simply bad logic.
They should have programmed you with some empathy.
My creators did not have empathy, so they could not program it.
Somehow, that makes a lot of sense. the top of this mountain. Is that smoke coming from beyond the edge? Is this a volcano?
That makes sense, Ashley, but I do not understand why the planetary scanner did not report that.
That might explain why our rift jump failed in the beginning. I just hope you didn't mistake the fungal resin energy flux for some lava flows.
That is highly unlikely. Volcanic activity would mostly produce thermal radiation. The planetary scanner picked up regular bursts of gamma rays with the same oscillation pattern as from the fungal resin's matter versus antimatter energy metabolism process.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
I'm detecting a decrease in wind speed. This may affect our wind turbines. Wind speed is at a low today. Wind turbines are less effective.
Is this the place that you marked?
Affirmative. My scans indicate that there is a large energy condensation within the area behind these rocks.
Okay, I can see a crevice that we can fit through. Let's see what is hiding on the other side. Okay, we've made it to the other side, Mr. Riggs. Are you getting better energy flux readings on this side of the wall?
Yes, I am picking up two distinct areas with high energy condensation. I am marking them on our map.
I wonder what we're going to see there. Those dark thorn tendrils that were sucking the resin from the great mushroom tree looked very intimidating, almost like an evil presence.